course, they fulfilled that promise here. We'll celebrate all their scouting accomplishments. And then Patrick Tavares here is our new Scoutmaster. Patrick has been with the troop in many different capacities for about 4 or 5 years. He's been busy in scouting, and you're an Eagle Scout as well. I'm not an Eagle Scout, I'll just admit that right now. So I should be, but it's but I want to point out that these 3 young men that we're honoring today have done a ton of work, and it's difficult to get to Eagle Scout. There's a lot of things working against the kids or makes it difficult, so the fact that these 3 have made it all the way to Eagle is a huge accomplishment. So, I think, Alec, you ready to get going? Okay, let's get going then. I want to welcome everyone here, wish everyone a good afternoon. Again, my name is Scott Sorensen. It's a pleasure to be here to call this Eagle Court of Honor. At this point, I would like to call upon Chase Thompson to ask God's blessing on this ceremony. Chase?
Please prepare yourself in the manner you are accustomed. Dear God, thank you for this place, this time, and this opportunity to celebrate these scouts and their amazing achievements. Today we look back upon all their merit badges earned, oaths committed, and the service to our community these 3 worked so hard to bring about. We look at what these young men have developed, like character, relationships, and knot tying, and we reflect on what they have done in themselves and for others. Let the ceremony run smoothly, beautifully, and bless these scouts for all they have done. Amen.
culminate today, in the presentation of the Eagle Scout badge. This is an occasion for pride and joy, but also a time for reflection. As we begin this Eagle Court of Honor and examine the trail to Eagle, it is fitting that we begin today with a pledge and an oath. The Scout Oath is a guiding principle of Scouting. The Scout Oath sets our internal direction. We declare our duty to God, country, others, and self. And also within the oath are the rules we follow and the guidelines we set for our behavior. The rules of Scouting are found in the 12 points of the Scout Law. Let us pay careful attention to these words and rededicate ourselves to these principles contained in these words. Scouts, please join me in reciting the Scout Law. Attention. Scout signs. The Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Thank you. You may take your seats. Will you please have Wyatt, Aaron, and Brett come up here to the stage. We're going to go ahead and do the Eagle Pledge. Can you guys please stand? Okay, as the candidates come up here, I will ask that all existing or current Eagle Scouts stand and recite and reaffirm their pledge. Okay. Please repeat after me. I reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of an Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example. And my status and influence count strongly for better scouting. And for better citizenship in my troop, in my community, and in my contacts with other people. To this I pledge my sacred honor. Thank you. Eagle Scouts, you guys can be seated. I now ask Patrick Tavares to come up here and award the Eagle Scout rank to Brody. Not Brody, sorry, Brody. Brody got you Eagle Scout. We're doing pins first. I'm going to hand this off to Patrick.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody. All right, so. Chase, I really enjoy your smile. Thank you. All right. Brett, Aaron, Wyatt, please come out front. And could we please have Brett, your parents? Could we have both your parents come up? Aaron, could we have your mother come up? Wyatt, could we have your mother come up? Normally we'd have both parents up here, but I guess it sounds like Wyatt's dad is out with COVID, so good vibes out to him. Only been 20 years since I've touched one of these, so I'm trying to get the pins out. I swear I know what I'm doing. A little bit. All right, Mr. Brett, please award your parents their pins. Mr. Aaron, award your mother her pin. Mr. Wyatt, open your hand. There you go. Don't poke your moms, please. Dads, leave that up to discretion. Really, without the help of these four wonderful people, makes it extremely difficult for any young man and coming up young women to make it to this level. Thank you very much for all of your help. Your boys, I know, really appreciate it. Thank you. All right, parents, you may be seated. Okay, well, how about we have each Eagle Scout call up their mentor for the mentor pin. Who would you like to call up for your mentor? Aaron? And Wyatt? Oh, me, okay. Yes, I get to enjoy an embarrassment. I present pins to your mentors, please. Everybody good? All right. I thank you to these two men, especially Stuart and Scott, obviously. Been a big part about this troop and the previous troop for these guys. And I've just been kind of get to be stern with these guys. I've had it easy so far. Now I really have to be nice. Thank you. Boys, go ahead and sit down for us for a second. And next we've got the words from the new Eagle Scouts. Actually, hold on, we're missing one little section. Aren't you guys missing something on your uniforms? Badge. Can we have the younger Eagle Scouts come up, please? All three of you, go ahead and step right back up, please. We're going to make this as confusing as possible. All right. Scott, can you come up and help with the badges, please? All right, seems you're the last one to sit down. You're the one closest to me. You get to do your thank you speech first. That's why I did it.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to start off by saying thank you to everyone who took the time to come out here today and celebrate this years-long accomplishment with all of us. Several years-long accomplishment, actually. After countless hours of meetings, campouts, events, and fundraisers, myself as well as my friends have finally made it to the rank of Eagle. I wouldn't be here today without the support of several of my friends and family, and I would like to take some time to thank them now. I want to thank my mom and my dad for pushing me through all the fundraisers and the meetings and all the tedious stuff I never wanted to do. I'd like to thank my grandparents for helping me raise the money for my Eagle Scout project and giving me the remotivation to finish my project after I had already got all the paperwork started. I want to thank Scott for being a great leader and helping us through the scouting process and giving us the tools we needed to advance quickly and effectively through the rankings. And finally, I'd like to thank Patrick for answering any questions I had at any time, giving me advice on the best way to make everything go smoothly from both the paperwork and everything after the project up to when I would be questioned by the board. So I want to thank you all right now. Thank you all. All right. Their support means everything to me, and without their help, I probably would not be standing here in front of you today. Thanks to receiving my Eagle rank, I have taken a major step in achieving my goal of getting into the U.S. military. I am truly grateful for my time in scouting, and I will do and what it will and has done for me in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Wyatt. Eeny, meeny, miny, no, Aaron, come on.
I also want to thank everybody for being here today. I'm not going to make it as long, but everybody here had some way of helping out, and that's the reason why we're all up here. I had a couple numbers, so I was looking through last night, and I found out that I've been in the troop for 1,994 days, almost 60 campouts, and at least 200 nights of camping. I've been to 5 week-long summer camps, including NYLT and staffing summer camps here this last year, and it's been quite a ride. I wanted to call Scott up here real quick. I have a gift for you, Scott, for helping me out throughout the years. I'll let you open it up later, but this is for you. I wanted to thank you for all your help. You've been there the entire way throughout all these 200 nights of camping and all these different campouts that I've been to. And it's really helped out.
Thank you so much, Aaron.
Thank you. I also want to talk about, I joined the troop 5.5 years ago, and when we first came in here, we observed Danita's son, Nate Basinger, and when I saw Nate up here doing his speech and talking and leading this troop, I thought that's what I want to be one day. And it's also to Nate and Danita that I get to be here, and it's quite an inspiration to see where I've become. I was going to make a joke about you're not tying Scott, but I mean, we'll do that later at the Court of Honor, but we'll see how that goes. More than anybody here, though, I wanted to thank my mom, because if it wasn't for her continuous, I wouldn't say nagging, but prosecution and making sure I keep going, I also wouldn't be here today. But it was from all my parents and all my family and everybody here that some way, once again, helped us be here. And well, that's it. Thank you, Mom.
Oh boy, Brett. This guy talks way too much, so just bear with us.
Sure I do. Hello, I'm Brett Thompson. I'm sure many of you know that I've never been much of a public speaker, so I'll try to keep this short. Many people have been there throughout my time growing up as a scout. I would like to thank Gary, Scott, and the rest of the adult leaders in our troop, as they all put up with all of our jokes between Scott's minuscule truck and the bone saw Gary always threatens to have on hand. I would also like to thank all my friends for supporting me and joining me on many fun activities, as scouting and school certainly would not be any fun alone. And finally, I would like to thank my parents, as without them, I certainly wouldn't be here today, and I definitely wouldn't be embarrassed on camera right now. Thanks, Dad. Thank you all.
That. Keep that. Put those in your binder. I went through mine a few months back. It's still there. Your handwriting is better than mine, and you typed yours out. All right. Who's ready for the best part of this? Anybody down here got a story ready? You only get to pick one person to tell a story about, otherwise we're going to be here till dinner time. Jonas, you want to take this one? Think about Brody? Okay, who wants to roast one of these cute, cuddly young men that, okay, Chase, the other, yeah. The brother that actually does talk.
Brett. So Brett has always been out there, playing D&D and Magic and not socializing. Great job. So a few months back, or maybe this month, I don't know, keep track of time. I found out, I believe at D&D, that he had a girlfriend. And this shocked us. It took us multiple days to figure out that he wasn't joking. So good job getting out there.
Who's got another taker? It could be anybody. It doesn't have to be a scout. It can be a cousin, a parent, aunt, uncle, family friend.
All right, this one's also for Brett Thompson. All right, Brett, he and I have been friends since Irving Elementary. As long as I remember, he's always been my friend. And going into high school together, we decided to go do registration together. And this is why I learned about how shy Brett actually is. So during registration, which the Thompsons, I should say, are some of the nicest people. They have taken me to many events throughout the years, even stuff like they weren't involved in. They would take me out of their kindness. So on registration day, we were just kind of waiting in line to do stuff, and I was kind of joking around, and I said, Brett's always has something that he does every day. Like he always brings his Game Boy Advance on the bus, and that's when Brett's mom goes, "You bring your Game Boy Advance on the bus?" And then they had a little bit of an awkward talk, knowing this for the very first time. Fortunately, that wasn't the last time I saw him bring his Game Boy Advance to school. So, thank you, Brett. Thank you, guys, for helping me along my journey as well.
Anybody? Yeah.
Hey guys, I don't have an embarrassing story for, well, I mean I do, but like I'm not going to announce them. Aaron, I've got some that are, probably shouldn't be announced up here for you, but I just wanted to thank you guys. I've known you guys since, I've known Wyatt and Brett since elementary school, and Aaron came along at some point. Yeah, I just kind of showed up, but I'm really proud of you guys. You know, I've seen your hard work and dedication throughout these years, and it's super cool seeing all three of you up here together. So yeah, just congrats, and keep doing what you're doing.
Aaron. You're not. I have one for you too. So So Aaron, remember after all those meetings, whenever we did it, we would fight each other at the end of the meeting? Yeah. You know who won those? No, it was not me. And then you got in trouble. You got blamed for everything, starting it all. Yeah, I just want to acknowledge that Aaron started a bunch of fights. He's pretty nice, though. He's cool, other than those fights. But other than that, yeah, sorry it's you. So Wyatt. Nothing. I can't think of anything for you. You're safe. You're cool. You're mean-ish. And then Brett's pretty cool as well. So good job, good job, y'all. Okay.
Anybody else? I mean, family, you can even say family.
Take
Mr.
one.
Alec.
So, I've known all these guys for quite a while, and this one's for Wyatt. So I remember in Cub Scouts, you were kind of a troublemaker and almost got kicked out. Honestly, of all the scouts I've ever met, this is the least one I ever thought would make it this far. And yet,
Only one.
so when I first knew you, I was kind of scared for my life of being with you. But now, I would trust my life with this man. And he can be very committed. If any of you have ever seen Wyatt in the morning, which is nobody because Wyatt's not up in the morning, you might be surprised that at Camp Pupukia, he signed up for an event that started at 6 a.m. every morning. And I drew the short straw with the ASMs, and I was to go and knock on his tent. And we decided we'd knock on his tent. We're not going to yank him out of bed. We're going to knock on his tent. He's going to go, and we're going to leave. And we're going to call again. So I get up, and I knock on his tent, and he's like, yeah, I'm getting up. And he gets up, and he goes, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. And it happens the next day. And I'm like, is this the same Wyatt? Do the time zones change that much between here and Hawaii that he's up? And then one day I go and I knock on the tent, and he's not answering. And I'm thinking, at this point, I have a pretty perfect record of getting this man up. And I'm thinking, it's ruined. He's done. We've done too many activities. We wore him out. He's not going to get up. Come to find out that he beat me to it and was already down swimming for the mile swim. So congratulations. I'm very proud of you. I have to be choosy. I have lots of stories that may or may not be incriminating to myself about some of these scouts, so I will leave it at that.
Normally, we get a different chance to only have the scouts then roast their troop. With there being 3 of them up here, we're going to go ahead and just go with they got to choose to roast one of their compatriots up here, and that was it. As you can see, Aaron is frothing at the mouth on this one, so here we go.
So in the last couple of years, we've been a single patrol. We had merged the 2 patrols, and I, however, have not seen that side of Wyatt ever. So, as they mentioned, the trumpet story, I have not seen anybody that has taken that many times to get blown in the ear with a trumpet without waking up over and over and over again. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's not quiet, but it's impressive. Yeah, it definitely reverberated around there, too, and then he had to sleep me up. Well, anyways. I've also never seen anybody that's so willing to bargain. I mean, one camp out a couple years ago, we went to, I think it was Diamond Peak, and it was the only camp I ever remember we had to go home early because it got snowed in. We had the tents collapsed in on ourselves, and we were thinking, wow, this isn't really going to go too well. I mean, so we got packed up and we got ready to go home. And on the hike back, Wyatt goes, hey, Scott, can we stop for Dairy Queen on the way home? And I'm thinking, it's probably 30, 40 degrees out right now. It's freezing cold. And he's like, hey, let's go get dilly bars or something like that. And he's like, hey, Scott, if I walk an extra mile, or hey, Scott, if I lick that slug right there like Brody does, can you buy Dairy Queen for the entire troop? And over and over and over again this happens until eventually Scott gives in and we go and get dilly bars when it's 40 degrees out. We've been just snowed in and left because we were freezing cold. it's impressive. But
Okay, so I have one for Aaron. So as you might have saw in some of these pictures, we enjoy fighting each other with big foam swords, especially Aaron. It's the only chance he gets where he can beat up the little kids without getting in trouble. So on one particular camp out, we were at Murnane, and we were having fun. And then we were walking back to camp or whatever, and then Aaron trips over a concrete fire pit. Now, we didn't think much of it at first. He seemed fine, but later his wrist? His wrist started hurting, and he had to go home. Turns out he had a hairline fracture or something? Yep. So, yeah. So Aaron's broken a bone. Wyatt, twice. Wyatt's also broken a bone at a camp out. We were up at Mount Hood. There's a big sled hill. And Wyatt's down at the bottom, off the trail, building, what was it, snowman? Okay. Yes, so they were building snow forts when all of a sudden Kyle, Scott's son, comes barreling towards him. And Wyatt ended up in the hospital with a broken collarbone. Anyway, I still have yet to break a bone, so ha.
I'll get him there, you break it.
Yeah, you're next.
Okay. Which one? Who's in your patrol? All right, so I got a story about both of them, more or less a little fact about Brett and a story about Aaron. So, so when we were first creating our buffers, right, we all got to test them out and everything. Some people made swords, shields. I made some dual axes. They were a lot of fun. Aaron decided it'd be a great idea to make a missile. I mean a missile. It was a giant rod. It was a giant rod with a bigger end at one side, so you could definitely tell where the point was. And instead of trying to hit people with this, he would just chuck it at them. And even the small children with shields could not withstand the force of this missile. I know, because I once saw one get knocked clear. All right. All right. And then this little fact about Brett. So ever since we started camp outs, Brett has always been the game guy. He always had either something, cards, dice, D&D, Magic the Gathering, Munchkin, which was one of our favorites. So anytime we wanted to play a game during any camp out, we always came up to Brett, what do you got? And he would start saying all these different games that he's got, and then we would just play games for the entirety of the night, and it was a lot of fun. So thanks, Brett, for that.
All right, anybody? Embarrassing stories, mostly embarrassing? Anybody? Oh, there we go.
Thank you. I'll keep this short. These three guys are awesome. It's been fun watching them, but of course, over the years, I've got a few little points on these guys. Wyatt, I thought I was going to have trouble finding stuff on you, but I looked through all the pictures, and it was just like stories would come up left and right. I'm going to go no sweatshirt. I want to second, though, Brett's, the negotiator, right? Negotiating everything, right? And it's like, you should become a lawyer. I mean, what are you doing in the Army? You should become like maybe an Army lawyer, JAG. So South Sister. So we're hiking up South Sister. And most of the scouts understand that while it can be 100 degrees down here in the valley, up at South Sister, 10,000 feet, it's going to be colder. But Wyatt didn't take this into account. And so we're hiking up the mountain. Wyatt does not bring any long sleeve sweatshirts or jackets or anything. And he gets up there and he's freezing cold and he's shivering, and Wyatt can be a little bit stubborn. I hate to use that word, but it is. Jen, can you back me up on this one? Right. Right. And so what really killed me was he's not going to admit it. He is shivering almost uncontrollably. Are you cold, Wyatt? I got a sweatshirt. You can borrow. No, I'm not cold. Almost with attitude at me. I'm not cold, and so that was funny. Broken collarbone. It was my son that ran into you, Wyatt. I watched Kyle go down the hill. It looked like a non-event from 200 feet up the hill, right? No problem, but then Wyatt didn't get up, and I knew something was wrong, and we came down there. And did we give you the bag of licorice after that for your troubles? No, okay. Sorry. But the one thing about Wyatt is of all the fun battles we talked about Boffer, this man had the most epic battle of all time. It was with Nate. We were at summer camp, and they were both on paddle boards. And, these kids love their sodas. I don't know why they love them so much. So they were both on there. They were jawing at each other. Nate's, 3 years older than you, Wyatt? You had a little bit, 4? Yeah, but Wyatt's pretty sturdy. So I said, hey, whoever can get the other guy off of the paddleboard, I'll give you guys a soda. And it was it was like battle mode. But they battled for like half an hour out there. Half an hour, they couldn't get either one of them off. Finally, Nate got you off of the paddleboard onto his paddleboard. Did you guys, we just draw. We had to do a draw. We had dinner was coming up. It was, for the price of a soda, entertainment factor was very high. For Brett, he is the game master. I mean, I can't stress this enough. He comes to camp with a game briefcase. I mean, he's got all these games in it. It's like professional for him. All sorts of games. The ones I remember is Cards Against Humanity. You did not bring that one? The one game Brett doesn't bring, I mention here. And Brett would call me in to play the game if they needed someone. It's kind of like, we're short, so I'm like, okay, Scott, you can come over and play, because I didn't know how to play the games, and I would lose them badly, but appreciate you asking, Brett. Safety is a key part of scouting. As Patrick knows, all the scout leaders, I mean, you got to bring them home in one piece. Broken bone here, there, no big deal, but got to bring them home. At summer camp a few years ago, Camp Easton, Brett had set all of his merit badges on swimming or water, aquatic-based ones, right? Kayaking and swimming and all these ones. So if he didn't pass a swim test, which we do at the very beginning of scout camp, summer camp, everything was laid to waste. It was trouble. So Brett here managed to pass a swim test, but I thought he was going to die. I mean, he was over by this picnic table. I mean, he was shivering. I called over Ron, who was our kind of a medic there, and I sat with you, Brett, for about 20 minutes, and you finally regained color in your face, breathing normally. I was impressed, but I was also worried for you a little bit. Yeah. Chase, nicely done there. The roasting, that was spot on there on Brett. Aaron, oh my goodness, impressive scout. I got to mention something real good before I mention the roasting. Aaron's been an amazing scout. He's really stuck with it, kind of like these other two scouts. We had a camp out with another troop, I'd say about 6 months ago, Troop 12. And Troop 12 was pretty on top of it. They're a new troop, and they're really follow the rules, just very strict about stuff. And they were wanting to have this camp out, to have some of our older scouts kind of show their younger scouts how to be leaders. And Aaron was our SPL at the time and did a fabulous job. And these adults from this other troop almost had tears in their eyes as they came up to me, Aaron, and said what an awesome job you did, what a model you were for their scouts. Really, I mean, they were like, this is what I want our scouts to be. So very, very impressive. Aaron has been with the troop a long time, but I'll say one more story. My favorite story of Aaron, it's one of my favorite stories of all time, involved licorice again. Apparently that's a common factor here at scouting events. Right? I agree. So Aaron is probably 12, I think. He's in a quad cab, and we have, I think, Andrew, you were in there. Where's Andrew? I think you were in there, and we had a few other scouts. Ashton was in there, and they had a tub of licorice. And at scout camps, licorice is very, candy, we don't have a lot of candy there. So when you see it, you're like, So I saw that. I was drawn to the truck. The truck was on, and they had electric windows. So I reached. I was just going to take it. I'm just going to take a licorice here, a little piece. So I reached in there, and Aaron starts rolling up the window. My hand goes out, right? Whoa, there, Nelly. And then he rolls it down. And then my hand I can't help myself. My hand goes back in. Whoa, and he rolls it back up. My hand goes out, right? And he's Mrs. saw this picture. He is bursting. He is laughing so hard. And I couldn't, he does it one more time, and I just couldn't, I reached in there, and oh my goodness, that was hilarious. I took a picture of you. You were super, anyway. It's on the slideshow. Well, anyway, it's been a great run for all three of you guys. Really appreciate all your hard work, and these Eagle Scout Awards are well-deserved. Thank you.
Okay, last chance. Anybody? Oh, you're making this too easy. Oh, Kale, come on up.
Okay, I don't really have like entirely funny stories, even though I've been like in kindergarten with some of these guys. You'd think I'd have some dirt on them. But mostly I just want to say, like, even though you guys have been, like, I've been with you for the long haul, really. You guys have been ridiculous. I've been sick of you guys sometimes. Been really glad to be around you at others. And just for the whole thing, like, I'm the last one in the patrol who doesn't have my Eagle Scout yet. I'm planning on getting that in the next couple months, so I'm hoping to see every one of you scouts there. You better be, unless you have a really good excuse, like your dog died or something, I'd understand then. For doing this, I admire your determination. I've looked up to you guys and know that's not just because I'm short. So I look forward to sharing this honor with you guys in just a couple months. And I'm just going to say I'm going to need help for sure with my project. We're going to be constructing some picnic tables for this community called Everyone's Village. It's in Eugene. It's like a low-income, small housing community for people who've like been on the streets and they need like a way to re-enter society without being like at the front of everything. And for scouts who are looking for projects in the future, they've told me over there that they need a lot of help with stuff there. They could use more than the 4 picnic tables I'm giving them, so just heads up for the future. There's a lot of good work to be done there. Just throwing that out there. So I'm just going to say thank you guys again for, dealing with me along the way. I put myself in the locker, okay? I did. I volunteered to go in that locker to see if I could fit, and turns out I could. So, yeah, that was interesting. So, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that unless somebody else has any fun stories to mock these guys with.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, not very many. Not very many stories that people can tell about you? Oh, okay. Kind of like coming back to the troop and Jennifer coming up to me. Give me a second. I need you. I need help. I need help with my son. What did you do? How long you been working on your Eagle Scout project? We're not going to talk about that? Well, we're going to talk about that. Yeah. So when I left and took my leave of absence, and right after Brody asked me to be his Eagle Scout project advisor, so did Wyatt. And when I left, Wyatt was ready to go. Brody was ready to go. I'd check in with Scott from time to time. Hey, how are these guys doing with their project? They're doing good. Well, no, wait, let me rephrase. Brody's doing really good. We haven't seen Wyatt in 6 months, and we're kind of worried about him because his mom keeps showing up, but he's not showing up. So I showed back up, and Then I heard, I didn't realize how close he was to needing to get his project done. Okay. So Wyatt and I need to have a meeting because you had 2 months left? Yeah. Beginning of May to end of June, so you didn't have to do that extra merit badge. Yeah. When it comes to crunch time, you really finally find out what a lot of these young men are actually made of. And coming from someone who, on the first camp out with 182, coming in, riding in the back of the Jeep with my kid, and I want to say Luke, I don't have much seat room in the back of that thing. Luke's in there, my kid's getting ready to get in, and here comes Wyatt. Wyatt's got a snow jacket on. I want to say it was end of May. He had a pillow, and he had a grocery bag. What are you doing with this grocery bag, Wyatt? It was a grocery bag. There was some questionable frozen food in it, but there was also chips and cookies and some candy. There was a quart of chocolate milk there. What do you think you're doing with this? Well, I'm not allowed to have any of this when we're at camp, so I'm going to finish it on the way to camp. 30 minutes into a 2-hour drive, I look back. He finished the entire grocery bag, and all but about that much of the chocolate milk passed out, just like a hibernating bear cub. So, exactly. So, congratulations. From what I met to now, you've come a long way. Congratulations. Good luck in the future. Oh, Brett. Brett's smart, and even when you've been doing this for 30 years at the time, there's always going to be somebody that knows something that you don't. Brett, I was teaching something, probably a totem chip card or firemanship card, one of the two. And Brett just happened to be walking by, and I slipped and I said something that wasn't quite right. No, you got to do it this way. That was one of the first campouts I had with Brett. And Brett, I don't have any good stories on you, man. You're too nice. That reminds me of somebody, but Brett's always the one you need when you need a scout. Brody is another one when you need a scout, Brody's there. Same thing with Andrew and with Jonas. There's a theme going on here. If you had one more year. If you need a laugh or if you need a little bit of sugar, Wyatt was always there. Yeah. Brett, congratulations. I don't know where you're going, but you're going to keep going. By the way, I only have 4 more merit badges. You can get another Eagle Palm. You got time. That's true. We'll try. We'll see what we can do. What do you look at me like that for? You think I got something on you? I got something on you. So the first probably second court of honor into my son and I joining 182. You were probably a year and a half in. We had a court of honor, and my boy Logan and Matthew, I remember, Chase, wherever he disappeared into the back, and we had Corbin. Oh, Corbin. I miss Corbin. Those 4 boys, inside 6 months, got their scout rank. You know where I'm going with this, huh, don't you? Aaron's, boys get there, the Court of Honor's over, and we're going out to get snacks, and Aaron's just kind of moping around. Which is kind of odd. Usually he's kind of chipper and having a good time. What's going on, man? Well, coming to grips with, I haven't done a thing in at least a year, and it's bugging me. I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? It's like, well, I'm still only a scout rank. I'm like, you are? Are you sure? He's like, yeah. Well, look at your uniform. Where's your scout rank? It's not sewed on yet. Of course, there's a couple other boys over here that still also don't have their tenderfoot or first class or second class on their uniforms yet. You have a good excuse. Always. I can't wait till you get your Eagle Scout. I'm writing this stuff down. I could probably have a whole stand-up special on Netflix or something with you, buddy. So they're like, well, Aaron, what are we going to do about that? Well, I need to get some stuff done. Well, I'm pretty sure you already got some stuff done. How about you go get your book? Okay. He goes moping off, and he comes back with his book. I don't know. I haven't done anything. I think we signed off probably 4 or 5 requirements on your tenderfoot badge that night. And by the next Court of Honor, didn't you have your tenderfoot by the next Court of Honor, or was it the one right after that? Whoop, 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 whoop. Nice catch. Thank you, Danita. Anyway, most scouts have those defining moments, every single one of them. Yes, you. You've had multiple. You've had more than, well, we've got 3 more that are, you're good. Exactly. Got to have defining moments that really get you kicked in the rear to get it done. Aaron, that was yours. That was your turning moment right there. Brett, I think you were already born after that moment happened. I'm not sure. Swim test passed. There was your, yeah, that's his moment. That's the swimming, yeah. And then you went out and got 3, 4 water badges, 4 or 5 in the same summer camp, I think, too, right? Yeah, yeah. So anyway, boys, go ahead and stand up one more time. Everybody, round of applause, please. Get in. It's going to be a while before you feel that again. Scott, come on back up. Get the closing started.
Thank you, Patrick. The process of earning one's Eagle Award does not end with this ceremony. I have a confidence in you, Scouts, that you will honor Scouting with your life and service as today's Scouting has honored you. The Eagle soars high, and seeks to rest only on the lofty peak. As an Eagle Scout, you too must soar high. You must not swerve from the path of duty. You must strive to obtain only the highest and noblest in life. Trust you 3 will do that. Congratulations. By the authority vested in me as a representative of Troop 152, I declare that this Court of Honor is now complete. Can we please have flags, closing prayer, and then flags.
Please prepare yourself in the manner you are accustomed to. Dear God, thank you for all that has transpired today and every day that has led these scouts to this place. Please help them use their knowledge to better themselves and others. Let them remember today so they can reflect and improve on what they've become, to be the people that all who have come before have made them become today, tomorrow, and forever in the future. Amen.
Thank you, Jace. Can I have Andrew please come up here and do closing flags?
Color guard, fall out. Color guard attention, troop attention, audience please rise. Please remove all non-scouting headgear. Color guard forward march. Color guard halt. Color guard please prepare to retire the colors. Retire the colors. Scout hand salute. Color guard about face. Forward march. Color guard halt. Color guard dismiss. Troop dismiss. I may be seated. 2.
Everybody, I believe there's refreshments in the back. Go ahead and take a look at the 3 tables that we've got set out with all the memorabilia on it.